everyone, this is Payal Bhajan. In this video, we will discuss about tablet processing problems and their remedies. First of all, what is sticking? Sticking, which is refers to the tablet material that are stick together or adhering to the die wall that are called as sticking. Filming is a slow form of sticking and is largely due to excess moisture which is present in the granulation. That are the two defects available on this slide. Formulation related defects and their solution, and next one is machine related defects and their solution. First of all, we will discuss formulation related problems, causes and remedies. First one, granules are not dried properly. So what is the solution to prevent a sticking? Dry the granules properly. Second one is too little or improper lubrication. So increase or change the lubricant and avoid a sticking issue. Next reason is too much binder, which produce sticking related issue. So reduce or use another binder. Next one is oily or waxy materials produce a sticking problem. So modify a mixing process and add an adsorbent to prevent a sticking related issues. Last one, too soft or weak granules. So optimize the amount of binder in granulation techniques to prevent sticking. Next one is machine related problems and their remedies. First one, concavity is too deep for granulation. So reduce the concavity for optimum. Next one is too little pressure, which produces sticking related issue. So increase the pressure. And last one is compressing is too fast. So reduce the compression speed and avoid sticking problems. Next one is peaking. What is peaking? Peaking is a more specific term that describes products sticking only with the letters, logos or design on the punch faces that are called as peaking. So peaking is the term used when a small amount of material from a tablet is sticking to and being removed off from the tablet surface by a punch faces, and the problem is more prevalent on the upper punch faces than on the lower punch faces. Formulation related problem. First one is granules not dried properly. So what is the solution? Dry the granules properly to prevent sticking related problems. Next one is too little or improper lubrication. So increase or change a lubrication, like use a colloidal silica as a polishing agent so that material does not cling to a punch faces. Next one is low melting may soften from the heat of compression and lead to peaking. So what is the solution? Use a high melting point lubricant to avoid this type of problem. Low melting point medicament in high concentration which produce a peaking related issues. So refrigerate granules and the entire tablet brush. Last one is too warm granules when compressing. So what is the solution to avoid the peaking? Cool sufficiently before compression. Next one is motion related problems and their solution. First one is rough punch faces. So polish the faces properly. Next one is diving lines is too deep. So reduce the depth of diving line to avoid a peaking related issue. And last one is pressure which is applied is not enough. So increase the amount of pressure and avoid peaking related problems. Next one is what is binding? Binding means sticking of tablet to the die and does not eject properly from the dye cavity or tablet compression machine that are called as binding. So binding in the dyes is the term particularly used when the tablet sees adhere or sees in the dye wall, and a film is formed in the dye and ejection of tablet is hindered, that are called as binding. First one is formulation related problems and their solution. First problem is like too moist granules. So dry the granules properly to avoid the binding related problems. Next one is insufficient or improper lubricant. So increase or change the amount of lubricant. Next one is too porous granules, which produce a binding related problem. So reduce the granular size with the help of various number of sieve. Next one is too hard granules for the lubricant to be effective. So modify the granulation process and reduce the granular size. Last one is granular material too warm, so reduce the temperature of granules to avoid a binding related issue. Next one is machine related problems or causes and their remedies. First one is poorly finished dye. So polish the dye properly to avoid the binding related issue. Next one is rough dyes due to abrasion or any type of corrosion. So investigate other steels properly. Next one is undersize dyes or too little clearance. So rework to proper size and increase the clearance. Next one is too much pressure in the tablet press. So reduce the pressure to avoid the binding related issues. Next one is mottling. What is mottling? Mottling is a term that is particularly used to describe an unequal distribution of color on a tablet with light or dark spots that are standing out in an otherwise uniform surface, that are called as mottling. Reason behind the mottling is a colored drug used along with colorless or white colored excipient, which causes a mottling. So what is the solution? Use the appropriate colorant to avoid a mottling related issue. Next one is a dye which is migrates to the surface of granulation while drying. So what is the solution? Change the solvent system, change a binder, reduce the drying temperature, and use a smaller particle size. Next one is improperly mixed dye, especially during a direct compression. It produces a mottling related problems. So what is the solution to avoid the mottling? Mix properly and reduce size if it is of large size to prevent the segregation. And last one, improper mixing of colored binder solution, it produces a mottling related issue. So what is the solution? Incorporate a dry color additive during a powder blending or a powder mixing step. Then add a fine powder adhesive such as acacia, tragacant, gelatin or anything, and mix well, and finally add a granulating liquid. Next one is what is double impression? Double impression, it is due to free rotation of punches which have some engraving or monogram on the punch faces. During his free travel, the punch rotates, and at this point, the punch may make a new impression on the bottom of tablet, which is resulting in double impression. So, what is the exact meaning of double impression? Double impression, which involves only those punches which have a monogram or other engraving on them. Reason are at the moment of compression, the tablet receives the imprint of the punch, and now on some machine the lower punch freely drops and travels uncontrolled for a short distance before winding up the ejection cam to push the tablet out of the die. And now during this free travel the punch rotates, and at this point, punch may make a new impression on the bottom of tablet, which is resulting in double impression. What is the reason behind double impression? Free rotation of either upper punch or lower punch during ejection of tablet, which produce double impression. So what is the solution to avoid a double impression? Use a king in a tooling. Example, insert a key alongside of punches so that it fits the punch and prevent a punch rotation. And another solution is newer presses have an anti-turning device which prevent a punch rotation. If punch rotation is prevented, so double impression issue is prevented. Next one is problems and remedies for tablet coating. First one is, what is blistering? Blistering definition is, it is a local detachment of film from the substrate forming blister. What is the reason behind blistering? Effect of temperature on the strength, elasticity and adhesion of film. So what is the solution to avoid a blistering? Use a mild drying condition. So what is the exactly meaning of blistering? When a coated tablets require further drying in oven or a too rapid evaporation of solvent from the core and the effect of high temperature on the strength, elasticity and adhesion of film, which may result in blistering. So what is the solution? Milder drying conditions are warranted in these cases to avoid blistering related issues. Next one is, what is cratering? Cratering is, it is a defect of film coating whereby volcanic like craters which is appears exposing the tablet surface. So what is the cratering? Cratering means volcanic like appearance or present on a tablet surface. Volcanic like craters which is present on tablet surface, that is called as cratering. What is the reason behind cratering? Inefficient drying. So use a efficient and optimum drying condition to avoid cratering related issues. And higher rate of application of coating solution also produce a cratering. So increase the viscosity of coating solution to decrease the spray rate of coating solution and avoid the cratering. Next one is, what is picking and sticking? It is a defect where isolated area of film are pulled away from a surface when the tablet sticks together or to the pan and then detach from one another or from the pan. That is called as picking and sticking. So, what is the reason behind sticking or picking? Inefficient drying. So, solution is increase the inlet air temperature and give a proper drying. Next one is higher rate of application of coating solution. So what is the solution? Decrease the rate of application of coating solution to avoid picking and sticking related issue. So what is the exactly meaning of sticking and picking is? Excess film tackiness or overweighting which causes tablets to stick to the each other or to the coating pan, and reduction in the liquid application rate or increase in the drying temperature and air volume usually solve this type of problems. Next one is, what is pitting? It is the defect whereby pits which is occur in the surface of tablet core without any visible disruption of film coating. Pits which is present on a tablet surface, that is called as pitting. And reason behind pitting is inappropriate drying temperature. So increase the drying temperature to avoid a pitting related issue. Next one is, what is blooming? Blooming means it is a defect where coating becomes a dull immediately or after prolonged storage at higher temperature. So blooming means It is a one type of defect where coating become a dull or rough immediately or after a long time storage period, and particularly in case of higher temperature. What is the causes behind blooming? So high concentration and low molecular weight of plasticizer. So solution is decrease the plasticizer concentration and increase the molecular weight of plasticizer to avoid the blooming. Next one is color variation. In color variation, or what is the color variation? A defect which involves variation in color of the film. Reason behind color variation is like improper mixing. So go for geometric mixing or proper mixing to avoid color variation. Next one is uneven spray pattern. So spray pattern is changed. Next one is insufficient coating or a migration of soluble dyes, plasticizer and other additive during the drying. So what is the solution? Reformulation with different plasticizer and additives or use mild drying condition to avoid this type of problems. Next one is what is orange peel effect? Orange peel effect, it is a surface defect resulting in film being rough and non-glossy appearance. Non-glossy appearance is similar to that of an orange. So what is the exact meaning of orange peel effect is? It is a surface defect particularly resulting in film being a rough or a non-glossy appearance. And appearance is similar to like orange. That is called as a orange peel effect. Reason behind orange peel effect is rapid drying. So use a mild drying condition to avoid this type of issue. Next one is high solution viscosity. So decrease the viscosity of solution to avoid the orange peel effect. Next one is what is breaching? Breaching means this occur when the coating fills in the lettering or logos on the tablet or breach formation is occur. That is called as a breaching. Exactly. What is the causes or reason behind the breaching is a high spray rate. So reduce the spray rate. Next one is high viscosity of solution. So reduce the viscosity of solution to avoid a breaching related issue. Next one is high percentage of solid in the solution. So use or reduce the percentage of solid in the solution. And last one is improper atomization pressure. So what is the solution? Use a proper atomization pressure to avoid a breaching related issue. Last one is what is cracking or splitting? Cracking means it is the defect in which the film either cracks across the crown of tablet, that is called as cracking, or splits around the edges of tablet, that is known as a splitting. Reason behind cracking and splitting is use of higher molecular weight polymer or polymeric blend, which causes this type of issue. So what is the remedy? Use a lower molecular weight polymer or polymeric blend and also adjust a plasticizer types and plasticizer concentration to avoid a cracking related issue. So what is the exactly meaning of film cracking or splitting is if the internal stress in the film which is exceeds the tensile strength of the film which is resulting in a cracking in use of higher molecular weight polymer blend or polymer which can increase the tensile strength of film. So adjustment of type and concentration of plasticizer and pigment can minimize the internal stresses in the film. Thank you.